Hey, welcome back to the Mr. Excel Netcast. I'm Bill Jellin. Today we have a question that's sent in by Ann. If you have a question for the podcast, please feel free to either leave me a voicemail or drop me an email, and we'll get to you on a future podcast. Now, Ann's question, she says, every time I create a brand new workbook, I always go through and do the same 3 or 4 things. Like, for example, my headers and footers. I always want to use the footer, file page setup, custom footer. I like to have maybe the tab name on the left-hand side, the page number in the middle, and then on the right hand side the date. She says, I'm constantly going through and making all these changes, but every single document that I ever create, I use the exact same header and footer. Is there some way to make that header and footer be the default? Well, there is, but it's a little bit convoluted. What we want to do is first go into Tools, Options, and on the General tab, look at the second to the last box. It's called At Startup, Open All Files In. Now this is probably blank on your computer. What we want to do is create a brand new folder that is completely blank and put that folder name in here. You could call it Fred or Joe or Bob or Ann. I called mine Excel Startup, whatever you want to call it. We'll click OK, and then you create a blank workbook, one worksheet, and go through and make all of your favorite changes. For example, one thing I always do, file page setup, is I say I want to fit to 1 page wide by I don't care how many pages tall. So I always delete that so that way it fits to 1 page wide. I hate that one last little column that prints on a new set of pages. Click OK. We already have the footer changes in there for Ann, and we're going to go to File, Save As. Now instead of saving this as a workbook, we're going to change the Save As type to a template. As soon as we choose template, the folder changes. It navigates down into Application Data, Microsoft Office, Shared, and so on. So we need to navigate back to Excel Startup, or whatever you called your folder. Now once we're in that folder, we want to save this workbook with 2 names. The first name is book.xlt, and then we also want to save it with sheet.xlt, file save as sheet.xlt. And then what happens is forevermore on this computer, whenever you go and click the new icon, you will inherit all of the settings from book.xlt. So if we go into file page setup, you'll see that the header and footer is the custom header and footer that Ann wants. Now the reason we have to save sheet.xlt is sometimes you'll have an existing workbook and you'll use insert worksheet. Well, that'll inherit all of the settings from sheet.xlt. So you want to make 2 identical copies, book.xlt, sheet.xlt, and of course where we save that, Tools, Options, look in the General tab and create a brand new folder here, Add Startup, Open All Files In. Now I have to warn you, in earlier versions of Excel, I think 2097, this used to be called Alternate Startup Location. Exact same thing, they just had different words over there. So again, create a folder name and you're good to go. Hey, thanks for stopping by. We'll see you next time for another netcast from Mr. Excel.